Hey y'all. So after posting the video about my journey yesterday, I realized there was a very special part of it that I kind of omitted, not deliberately. So I thought I'd just make a part 2. So once I had become Muslim, I became Muslim at the Islamic Propagation Center in Durban. It was a center specifically created to propagate Islam. And once I became Muslim, I started working at the same center as a da'i, which it means in Arabic, it's a propagator. So it was a really special time, because there I was, probably 22 years old, now growing a big beard with a topi on my head, much to the horror of everyone who knew me. I was no longer Earl, I was Isa. Isa was my Muslim name. Isa means Jesus in Arabic, which I specifically chose because of my love for Jesus and my then new understanding of Jesus, and the fact that, you know, he was no longer God and the Son of God, but a prophet of God. So that was my name. And once I started working for the center, my job was to propagate Islam. There was a little auditorium that I would man, and which we would display a lot of the debates and discussions between Ahmadiyyat and Christians and Hindus and people from other religions and so on, and also sell his literature and so on. And I absolutely loved it. I was like a pig in shit, because Islam at the time made so much sense, especially coming from the dog's breakfast that is Christianity. It just made so much sense, and I felt that I had found my place. So part of my job description was to be a tour guide. This was very funny because it was a lie. I was not a tour guide, I was a propagator. So this center, the Islamic Propagation Center, it was located in central Durban. It was opposite the largest mosque in the southern hemisphere. So because this was the largest mosque, it was on the Durban tourism brochure as a place to visit, a place of interest. So what would happen is every day tourists from different parts of the world would rock up at the mosque to come and see the largest mosque in the southern hemisphere. It was a pretty ornate and a beautiful structure, old and stuff like that. And so busloads of people would arrive. So when they arrived, the people from the mosque would then come and call me, who was the tour guide. So the reason they would call me is because we realized that this is a huge opportunity to propagate Islam. There's a whole lot of people that would visit every day, foreigners, most of whom were not Muslims. So this was an opportunity where we would take them to the mosque and show them the mosque, and under the guise of showing them this big and beautiful mosque, it would then be an excuse for us to propagate Islam, and you would have an audience, there and then. So it set me on a really sharp learning curve, because on a daily basis, you can just imagine, with my beard and my long flowing white garment, I look like Jesus in the temple, standing in front of 60, 70, 80, 100 tourists that would rock up there. And so I would stand there, and I still remember clearly my talk would sound something like this. It would start out with, welcome everyone, this is the Queen Street Mosque. It is the largest mosque in the southern hemisphere. It was built in this year and that year, and the architect was so and so, and if you look here and there and start explaining about the mosque, that would last maybe all of 5 minutes. And then I would launch into, did you know we Muslims also believe in Jesus? And then I would explain the Islamic version of Jesus to them, which obviously wouldn't go down well with the largely Christian audience. And this would result in discussions, sometimes heated debates, because among the audience was often pastors, priests, deacons, people of the cloth, religious people, very religious people. Some of them very knowledgeable. And here I was, 22 years old, and having to field all these questions. And because I had to do it on a daily basis, it set me on this really sharp learning curve and made my wits really sharp, that I was able to, engage and debate, and I had an answer for everything. I still do. It was a lot of fun, and it was a very, very special experience. And that's, I think, also where I learned most about, all the flaws and the issues with Christianity. And because I had to have the answers, it forced me to learn really, really fast. So I realized this morning that yesterday when I posted the video about my journey, I had omitted this very special part, which I don't regret any of this. There have been times when I've heard comments from family and friends like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he wants to do, then he's Christian, then he's Muslim, then he's atheist. And I'm thinking, you dumb motherfuckers, you are so dumb. You shamelessly stick to following what your mommy and daddy taught you. Like, you don't even realize how lame, how pathetic that is, that you stuck on something because that's what you were taught. Meaning that if your parents were Hindu, you'd be telling me about Krishna and Rama and Hanuman, the monkey god, till thy kingdom come, simply because that's what your parents taught you. This sad patheticness, you're proud of it. And someone like me, who has the balls to follow through, who searches like a madman trying to make sense of a fucked up world, and spares no cost, who sacrifices his career to find the truth, who sacrifices friends, family, anything to make sense of this shitty world and the religious chaos and confusion. You want to mock and make fun of that guy? You dumb motherfuckers. So when I think of these things and that journey and that special time in my life, I not only smile about it, I'm fiercely proud of it, because I had the strength of character and tenacity to do what I did, and to follow through, and to actually kind of earn my stripes. So that was the part that I had omitted yesterday, and I thought I should just share that with y'all. Thanks for watching.